Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Senestech's channel, an agricultural biotechnology life science company managing animal population through fertility control. Joining us to discuss the earnings, some basic strategy, and just what's going on with the broader company. Joel, the Chief Executive Officer. So first and foremost, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Pleasure to get you on. This is a fascinating industry. I think people are largely probably unaware of it. I want to kind of break this down into pieces. We'll start obviously with the earnings here. I mean, Q1 revenue hit 233K, which was up 19% year over year, with a massive leap in the company's e-commerce growth, which was a 54%, while operating an adjusted EBITDA loss still of 1.8 million. Do you want to kind of discuss what's been driving the growth, the kind of path to profitability, and a bit of the strategy?
Absolutely. When I came on, I wanted to implement new strategies and tactics, and it does take some time to do those. But really in Q1 on our field sales side, the weather-related issues in California especially had a dramatic impact on Q1 activity for both agriculture and our regular field sales. However, Q2 looks to be recovering nicely. Last month, one of the largest agricultural grain export companies in the world deployed ContraPest to select grain storage for export facilities. With this customer and this initial deployment, our experts work with the pest management professionals to develop and deploy ContraPest as an addition to the existing integrated pest management program. If this follows the success we've seen in other segments, this deployment represents a significant account growth potential.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate those insights and kind of mentioning, that sector. I mean, 20% of the world's stored food supply is lost to kind of rats and consumption and contamination, with an estimated over 30% was specifically referring to grain storage and transport. That's a relatively intriguing, aspect of the economy. Probably people are just completely unaware of. Do you want to just discuss how do you know this works in the real world? Kind of talk about some of the case studies and just kind of the success of ContraPest.
Yeah, well, in the agriculture sector, rats pose a particular challenge. The outdoor nature of the business, exclusion practice are not effective or practical, and foods input are being produced. So poisons can pose a danger as well. So in addition to the direct grain consumptions, rat cause contamination in grains through urine, nesting. They'll chew through electrical wires and equipment and structures, causing millions of dollars of damage through the entire supply chain. And even in cases where populations are controllable for a short time, the movement of the food products allows opportunities for populations to move during the transport, especially in the grain sector. So with the customers that we've been working with in the grain and agriculture area, our experts work with them to deploy an effective method for ContraPest, and we've seen great success.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that, and kind of jumped the gun on that last question, but can you kind of just expand a little farther on exactly, talk about some of the case studies. How have you guys build out this technology, and how do you know this is really kind of evolving and working in the real world?
Yeah, we have a growing list of success stories. In fact, they're coming out weekly, and these are successful deployments by customers. So just a few of them, a West Coast egg farm, where ContraPest was added to the existing integrated pest management program. The rat populations were surveyed monthly for over a year to measure the reduction in rat activity through the ContraPest treatment. And the final results confirmed that ContraPest cut the rat population in half in 3 months and produced a sustained 90% reduction over the 12-month study. Then we moved to the East Coast. There's a pullet farm where ContraPest was added to the existing IPM program, and the staff there reported an 88% improvement in pullet survival after reducing the rat population with ContraPest. So the annual benefit for that projected by the customer by adding ContraPest to their pest management program was over $600,000 in increased revenue and decreased costs. And then moving to the municipal side, the long-term study we have in Washington, D.C., where we were working with local authorities, we were able to prove decreased activity by 94 to 99% with no rebound. In addition to that, the proportions of juveniles to adults decreased by 98 to 99%. So that is, in the words of population ecologists, a crash. And over the 12 months of deployment, their rat populations crashed. They stayed low. There was no rebound effect by continued use of ContraPest. We recently had a deployment in a Seattle, Washington neighborhood, Queen Anne's, and it reported reductions over 90% with a ContraPest only deployment. So now we're showing that it works in neighborhoods as well. And then a continuing program deployments in Los Angeles at the Best Friends Animal Shelter reported 90% reductions when ContraPest was added to their IPM program. This is a separate success even from the County of Los Angeles Animal Care Facility program, which we just renewed and expanded. So we have a great list of success stories. They keep coming in weekly, and we want everybody to be aware that ContraPest is out there and working effectively to reduce the rat populations.
Well, I definitely appreciate these insights, and I think this is an intriguing play on a problem that's been probably plaguing society for well over 100 years at this point. There's a funny video I'll just anecdotally add to, where I'm sure many people have seen. It's almost funny. This mouse sees this trap with cheese on it, and instead of going in the trap, it grabs a stick and drops it on the trap, and then grabs the cheese after the fact. Like, these animals are evolving to these old kind of archaic standards for catching them. But nonetheless, I'll pass the question out to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below. Consider subscribing, because as news continues to come down the wire, we're going to update you here as well. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.
Thank you.